Now to this. Speed cameras are back online in Johannesburg and Tshwane. This after speeding prosecutions were halted for over 18 months. Johannesburg's speed cameras started working again on 1 January. And can you believe this? Over 6,000 speeding cases were recorded on New Year's Day alone. For more on this, we're joined by MMC for Public Safety, David Tembe. Mr. Tembe, thank you so much for your time this evening. So we know that some Joburgers have been taking full advantage over the past 18 months without cameras being operational. Surely this time without speed cameras has cost or has meant a huge loss of income in traffic fines for the city. Can you quantify that for us?
Yes, thanks. Good afternoon, and to the listeners. During my time as the chief of police, we used to have about 40 million per month. So as you have said, calculating for those months, the city has lost a lot of an income.
Now, the Metro has now signed a new 3-year contract with Syntel to provide advanced law enforcement and crash management services. Can you give us a little bit more broad detail about what exactly their responsibilities will entail?
Yeah, their responsibility. We have got different types of cameras. We have got the one that it's a manual cameras that is used for high speed, and we have got an auto cameras that is used on our freeways, and the one that is used on the surface, the fixed cameras. Those are auto cameras because they're being downloaded in the morning or in the afternoon.
And in terms of these crash management services, what does that entail?
Yes, crash management services. Remember, when there's an accident, it takes a lot of time for the complainants or the victims to get the reports that they can go and claim from their insurance, or perhaps go and make arrangements for the funerals. So it is important that we have that crash management, because it will be done at the scene and immediately it is submitted electronically at the center and at the eNCA.
Why has it taken so long to get this contract issued and to get Syntel on board?
There were a lot. This is the matter of the issue of the tenders. You know, when you have got a tender, there are others who are going to object until such time that we didn't have cameras at all, or didn't have a contract at all. So it started in 2016, and during that time, we were piggybacking with Ekurhuleni Metropolis. So it is now that we have our own permanent, in fact, our own speed cameras that belongs to us.
So in that introduction, we said 6,000 or over 6,000 infringements just on New Year's Day alone. The cameras have been working since the 1st of January. That's almost a whole week. Can you tell us roughly how many fines have been issued just in that time?
Since the 1st of January to today, it's 32,900. And then we have arrested 24 for high-speed unit that has been on our roads. So 24 has been arrested for driving excessive speed. But then it has issued the fines of about 34,000.
Sure. A lot of people not going to be happy in this new year, but certainly it is for the protection of citizens. During these 18 months when cameras were not operational, did you see a lot of vandalism of those fixed automatic cameras?
Yes, there's a lot of vandalism. Our robots have been vandalized, but then we didn't have those infrastructure, but because the people who were owning those have taken all those their own fixed cameras away, so we didn't have those ones. Those that are there, we are still going to use them because it's the same company that Syntel that were being used by the city.
Excellent. Can you tell us what you expect to see in terms of driver behavior over the next couple of months as people, get used to, driving within the limits of prescribed speed limits again?
Yeah, let's talk about the manual cameras. I believe on the manual cameras whereby officers are on the side of the road where they stop a motorist, because by so doing, people can see that and feel, because they get their citation there and there. But then still, we're going to have the ones that are on our freeway, because they're driving at the high speed. Those are automatic cameras that are going to be used there. But people are going to change. For an example, from January, if we have arrested 24, it means, therefore, what will happen to the others? Because they have to spend time in jail and they have to pay their bail in jail, because it's no admission of guilt at the speed that they are driving. So there will be a change, of course.
In terms of collection of fines issued, we know the Metro has been without this specific income for 18 months, so that's a lot of money that the Metro then needs to make up for. Can we expect collection of fines to be harsher than before? I know a lot of roadblocks where there is a mobile trailer parked where vehicles are stopped, checked for fines, and infringements you have to pay there and then, or you face your car being taken away or possibly going to jail. And many people may ask, well, hang on, is that going to be more severe because the Metro is trying to make up for lost revenue?
No, it's not for making up for the lost revenue. Remember, ours is to save life. A lot of people have lost life because of, especially the pedestrian, speeding on the freeway, speeding where you are not supposed to speed on the build-up areas. So we have lost so much life when we look at the stats. With regard to the income, yes, we have lost the income, but it's not our main point to have done that. But we are going to intensify, because what we are looking at is no more the use of writing the citation. We are going to use a handheld gadget that will be able to be faster and more professional than the use of the citation book.
Of course, issuing fines for speed infringements is only one element of road traffic law enforcement. There are so many other elements as well. And many inhabitants of Joburg and Tshwane have for many years been pleading with the Metro to improve visibility and enforcement of all kinds of other infringements. You'll see motorists being stopped for a small fine, but you'll see taxis getting away with a lot more, jumping red robots, for instance, motorists of all kinds driving in the yellow lanes on the freeways, also endangering people's lives. But we see less enforcement in those types of areas than we do perhaps for speed. What's your response to that?
Yeah, those, we call them inconsiderate driving. If a person commits an inconsiderate driving, especially in Johannesburg, we are going to reintroduce what we had, the unit that we had before, a transport unit that specializes on this delinquent. Because if you don't, you'll find that they don't care about it, because especially the one who was keeping the robots. It's not only maybe the taxi drivers, but right now we have got even motorbikes that keep the robots that are delivering food. So it is a plethora of infringement that is being done by the motorists. Yes, in Johannesburg, we're having a special unit that will deal specifically with that. And we're working with eNCA that will assist us in drafting the charges so that when we go to court, the charges sticks. It's discouraging when you arrest a person, you go to court and nothing happened, and we blame the judiciary. Yet it's our own officers who didn't know how to write the right citation.
Well, thank you very much for that update. That was MMC for Public Safety, David Tembe.